Hi, if you're watching this video, then you may be a mature person like me. I'm in my mid-70s, and you may have some challenges going along with eyeshadow. Number one, maybe you've never really worn eyeshadow or known how to wear it before. Number two, you may have oily eyelids. And number three, you just don't know what to do with all of the loose skin. So I'm going to cover a couple of things and we're going to see if we can make a difference. Now, if you watch many of my videos, you know that most of the time I put a primer on my eyelid. That primer I get from Amazon. This is the name of it. This is the original pot that I have used ever since I started using this. And it is just, all I do is I take my ring finger and I tap it in there. I mean, it is barely anything on my hand. And you can see as I put it on the back of my hand, there was nothing on my finger, but I had enough for the entire eye. So I'm going to do one eye with this. We'll do another eye with your brightening shade that's in your palette. So I'm going to take and I'm going to tap it all over. And then I'm going to let that sit. And I'm going to tell you why I do that. On mature eyelids, we just don't have that lovely canvas that we used to have as we were younger. We could put shadow on, we could move it around, and it was great. We don't have that anymore. Now we have to play it safe. So this is now using my brightening shade, and I'm going to do the same thing. So on your eyelid, you have kind of what I would call creases, loose skin, valleys. If you do this, the skin is going to move with you and you're not going to get it in all the right spots. So once it's on there, I kind of let it sit for just a little bit. I mean, nothing really long. I don't want to say it's not like 20 minutes or anything. It might be a minute or so. I do both eyes. Sometimes I'll come put a little bit in there, but then I take another brush. Now this is a brush that I've got in my stash. All you need is a brush that's about this length and it has a little bit of stiffness to it. So this is not a fluffy brush. Now what am I going to do is I'm going to go over that eye with a stipple motion. What that does is it now pushes that product into all the little crinkles. Sort of think about you're filling potholes, but you're not really filling potholes. But you can think about it like that. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye where I have my brightening shade of foundation on. Okay? So there's one eye. There's the other eye. I'm holding back and looking in the mirror. To me, they look about the same. All right. Now, from here, you can do a couple of things. And I'm going to show you both of them. So it's just going to be what you want to do. I'm going to take my brush, my eyeshadow brush. I do like to use the Saint one because it's got two ends. And I am going to go in with a color called Mama. The reason I can do a video and tell you about Mama is it is like a universal shade that everybody likes. I load my brush. Can you see the powder that I got off of it? So none of that loose powder is there. And then I go onto my lid with the same tapping motions that you saw me do with the cream. I just tap it on. Once I feel like I've got it, now I can go back and brush it. That's one way to do it. Another way, which you might want to try, is to use a color called Tangled. This is a cream. We only have 2 creams left in the line. And all I do is put Tangled on my eyelid first. I'm just blending it all over. I'm going to come back with that brush, tap it in. And what that does is it gives me a little bit of shimmer. If I don't want to do much to my eye, that might be all I do. And in the summer months, that's been all I've been doing. So this eye, we're going to play with powdered shadow. This eye, we're going to play with our new pencils that just came out because I want to share those with you. I think they're amazing. So I'm going to use a really dark color here because I want you to see it. So I am going to pick up this purple shade that is in my palette, and this is called Amethyst. So it really is a purple shade with the large end, and I know you're going to get different, you know, you need to try both, but for me, I use the large end. Again, this is the way you pick up your powder, and then always tap off the excess. You may think you have no excess, but trust me, you do. So now I am going to take that and I'm going to stamp that color. Look where I'm stamping it. It's a backward 7. I haven't done any blending yet. All I've done is just stamp it. I now can open my eye, look in the camera, and this is where I blend that darker shade. I do not blend that shade over my entire eyelid because I want brightness there. I only want this color out here at the edge. And if you keep your eye open and look in your mirror when you're doing it, you will not get the product down there. Do you see how that light is there? That's what I want to stay. Now, if you need to build up that color, flip to the small end, pick up a little bit of color. Again, tap the excess off, and you can just reinforce that and blend. Now, here's the other thing. It does not take much product to make an impact. I'm going to show you. These were a couple of the special, these were available early in the summer. I love these colors, especially this purple and this blue. I'm going to show you how little you need to be able to make a multicolored eye without having to put it all over your lid. So I'm going to pick up the purple with my finger. That's it. I'm going to tap that on the outer third of my eye. I'm going to give it another go, and I'm going to tap it. That's it. Now I'm going to take a different finger, and I'm going to pick up the blue. This is totally amazing. I have fallen in love with Saint's shadows from the concept, but I have I have 1, 2, 3, 4 colors on my eye, but my eye doesn't look dark. And that's the ticket. You've got to make sure that you're keeping it where it needs to go. Now, I didn't put a brightening shade on this eye. You could use, if you wanted, you could come in and you could drop a little bit of this cream on the inside. But you can also pick up a color, I believe it's called Drift. Put it on your finger. Pop it right in the center of your eye. The center of your eyelid right there. And look how much brightness that brings to my face. You see the eyeshadow, but you don't see it all over my lid. Okay? All right, let's go on. Sorry, my nose is itching. Oh, what does that mean? Gonna kiss a fool? No, I hope they're cleaning my house. I don't know. It's one of the two, and I'm not sure, but I could, actually I could do with both right now. I'm single. What do I know? Okay, now we're going to do this eye. I can't believe I said that. We're going to do this eye with 2 pencils, and these are in the satin line. Satin means they're creamy, they're movable, they're blendable. I would not use the silk line on my eyes for shadow until I had a little experience, because the fact that they're silk means they're locked and loaded. You put them on, you really do need to blend them fairly quickly, otherwise they're going to dry and they're not going to move. Case in point, I put my underlining on, my tight lining this morning. I tight lined my lower lashes. I tight lined my upper lashes. That product hasn't moved since this morning, and that is from the silk line. So we are going to start with a color called Pepper. I like pepper because pepper is kind of a neutral. I wouldn't say that it's got warm tones. I wouldn't say that it's got cool tones. But here's what I'm going to do. I am going to put pepper on very similar to what I did over here, but I'm doing it with a pencil. I'm keeping my eye open. I'm drawing a backward 7. Now, depending on how much loose skin you've got, you might find that your skin really moves with the pencils. And for that reason, you might feel more comfortable using the powders. But you can use either one. Now, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tap that pencil in. And now I'm just going to gently open my eye here, look in the camera, and blend. How easy is that? And then for another color, a little bit of depth, I want to take, I think this is mulberry. This is mulberry. So I'm going to take mulberry, and I only want this on the outer third of the eye. That's the other thing. For mature eyes, you want to try to get that beautiful accent color out here. We're not in our 20s, 30s, and 40s anymore. So it's going to be really difficult and challenging for us to wear those unbelievable glamorous eye looks. So I apologize if that's what you were hoping for. But all I'm doing is now I'm just drawing a stripe there. I mean, this is like goof proof, guys. This is goof proof. And again, I'm going to move it in. Now, you can still see a little bit of my brightening there that I put on with this color. But if you want to intensify that again, pick it up, put it on again, and there you got it. That's how easy it is to do. Now, if you're watching videos, and why wouldn't you be? That's how we all learn. If you're watching videos, you may see some artist come and do a color down here. It is very rare that I do that because I don't want to drag my look down. They're doing that so that they can get a little bit more color, but they're also not in their mid-70s. And so I don't want to do that. I don't want dark eyes. I like a nice eyeshadow, but I don't want dark eyes. I'm probably not going to do the smoky eye look that's going to look decent on me. If I do it, it's going to make me look like I have a black eye. So some of those things, even though we love to see them, we may not be able to use them. So I hope that helped. Eyeshadow is a learning thing. You're going to find some colors that you don't ever want to go out of your palette. When Saint removed colors from the line this summer, there were many that I stocked up on because I thought I cannot not have this in my arsenal. But I also want to let you know that just because something is labeled as a lip and a cheek color does not mean that you cannot use it on your eye. So all this might be a lip and cheek, but really all it is could be a cream shadow too. So if you really want to add a little bit of pink color to your eye, you can easily add a little bit of that and come back with, where did I put my brush? Come back with your brush and just brush it. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. I love to wear pink eyeshadow, by the way. I think it does. Normally for me, it adds a little bit more to my color. So I hope that helps. If not, give me a buzz. I'll work with you. We'll get it right.